The Francis Ngannou and Dana White news continues to roll on. Dana White reacts to Francis Ngannou signing with the PFL. It makes no sense to me. So I'll read what Dana said, and I'll read what Francis said, and I think my thoughts on it might surprise you guys. So this is Dana. Based on what I know about the deal, which is not much, I bet he knows more than we think. It makes no sense to me. You're going to pay a guy not to fight for a year, and it's already been like 18 months. He's fought 3 times in the last 3 years. The day that we released him, I knew exactly what was going to happen. Francis wants to take 0 risks, doesn't want to take any chance, and he obviously didn't want to take a chance against John Jones after we saw what happened with Cyril Gane. I don't blame him. I think the outcome would have been exactly the same, and I'm sure most of you do, and I think Francis does too. And the media makes it sound like I'm saying that he's afraid of him. I don't think he's afraid of anybody. It's just that he doesn't want to take any risk. This is important here. So Dana says, PFL is going to pay this guy to train for a boxing match that might not even happen, that they might not even be involved in, which they won't be. How does this make any sense? Anthony Joshua called it a gimmick fight this week. Francis could have done a deal here. Hunter threw the kitchen sink at the guy. I have info on that. Francis just thinks that he's in a position where he's got some Conor McGregor Mayweather fight on his hands, which he does not. MMA guys versus boxers doesn't make any sense to me. But I think he thinks there's the money's in it. I disagree. I get no beef with the PFL. These guys have always been super professional. Never talked any smack. You know me, if I don't like you, I don't hold back. I'll let you have it. I'm hearing that they're raising money right now, 280, 300 million from the Middle East. I don't know who in the hell would give them 280. I'm hearing they're buying Bellator. So you're an organization that's burning cash. You have no ratings and selling no tickets, and you're going to raise 280 million to buy a company that's burning cash, sells no tickets, does no ratings. Sounds fucking absolutely genius to me. This is what I want you guys to do. This is my opinion on this. Let's pretend we have no background on Dana White. Let's just call Dana White Boss A. And you have no background on PFL or Francis Ngannou. They're going to be Boss B. What Boss A is saying from a business standpoint, Dana is 100% correct. So if I walk into a bank, Chin, and you're a big-time investor and you have $1 billion, and I go, here's the thing, dude. I'm going to sign this guy, but fights about once a year. He's 36, coming off a knee injury, and we're going to give him a portion of the gate. We're going to guarantee him whatever it is. What do they guarantee him? Fucking some millions of dollars. Let's just say we're going to guarantee him $10 million a fight. His opponent gets guaranteed $2 million a fight. I need $300 million to get this done. You would respond and go, okay, well, how's things going right now? Are you selling tickets? No, absolutely not. Okay, well, the only thing that would make sense is if he's going to fight a big name. Do you have big name guys on the roster? Nope. We don't. Okay. Have you done pay-per-view before? Well, it's really not our model, but we've done it once before. How'd that go? I think we did 20,000 pay-per-view buys. That's the worst I've ever heard. I know, but hear me out here. We're going to try and sign other guys from other leagues. What guys? Who's becoming available soon? Are they young prospects? Are people that are selling tickets already? No, we don't really know. We're hoping for Ben Rothwell. Oh, is he young? No. You know, so just from a business standpoint, and I know Dana, obviously we know his background, so it's tough to take that out of context. It's tough not to add that into this. This deal is great for Francis Ngannou. For the PFL, it is a disaster. The point is, PFL does not have the infrastructure to carry this through for this to be a success in any facet. Whatever metrics you're looking at does not show that this is going to turn out well for Francis Ngannou. I hope they get this funding. I hope they get an opponent that people want to watch and see. All signs are pointing that this is a disaster for PFL. It's just business. So by Dana White saying this, like, you're just a hater, you don't want to see anybody do well. Dana's like, no, take out however I feel about Francis. As a business, he's a 36-year-old fighter that's demanding more money than we've ever paid. He's 36 coming off a knee injury. The guy we want him to fight, stylistically, is the worst matchup possible for him. The odds are he will lose that fight. And this guy wants us to pay him more money than anybody else. We're good. I side with Dana on this, which is rare. It's rare I side with the guy. The UFC did the right thing, let him go, which is insane to say. Yeah, did we miss out on the John Jones fight? Yeah, that sucks, dude. I would love to see that. I'd love for both those guys to get paid. When Dana says Mick Maynard threw the kitchen sink at him, they offered, and I think Francis' coach said this, Nick. He said they offered Francis $8 million guaranteed plus pay-per-view to fight John Jones. Big payday. But then after that, it goes back to his normal pay. And Francis like, no, that's why I'm trying to get away from that normal pay. But the UFC has a business going, you don't understand. We assume you're going to lose this fight, dude. Then after that, this is your value. Win or lose, you're going to make a ton of money because the John Jones fight's going to be massive. After that, it gets dicey for you. And this is what we think you're valued at. People are like, oh, you're disrespectful. Could they pay him more? 100%. From a business standpoint, what they do, that's what they're saying. Dana is not wrong on this. Sometimes it sucks because we have our favorites. We have people that we love. Francis stories. How can you not like Francis Ngannou, dude? But at the end of the day, if you're a business, you cannot care about people's feelings and their background and their story. It does not matter. What matters is what's putting butts in the seat, what's selling pay-per-view tickets for Endeavor, for WME, for Disney, for Mickey Mouse. That's all they care about. Francis is not that guy. Just isn't. This isn't me hating on Francis or hating on the PFL or sucking Dana off. Has nothing to do with that. This is very black and white. Dana's right. He's 100% right.
Oh, yeah. So what do you think of Francis's rebuttals to this? So these are all his tweets that he...
But what's your problem with me? I completed my contract, was a free agent, and chose to walk away. You didn't release me. Yeah, I don't think Dana has an issue with that. Dana's more pissed that he didn't get the John Jones fight.
But Dana did say, like, we released him, which wasn't really the case. He did fulfill his contract.
Again, it's hard for me to back Dana on this. But just looking at it from an unbiased opinion, could the UFC offer Francis a contract that trumps PFL? Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, they have the money. They have more money than all of them.
Didn't.
He just didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
So could the UFC have kept Francis 100%, if they actually want him 100%? Mm-hmm. We could have. When you look at how much money they made last year, the biggest year ever, they have the money to pay Francis and John just like a Canelo gets paid, just like a Conor McGregor gets paid for fighting Floyd Mayweather. They have that option. So if they truly thought that Francis was that guy that could pull those numbers, trust me, they would have absolutely annihilated the PFL's contract. So by releasing, I think people think, well, you didn't release him, we filed his contract. They're like, no, we're legit saying we have the capabilities to keep this man, and we did not. We released him out into the wild. Go get yours, dude, because we don't think it's for you here anymore. That's what they're saying. They're saying the only fight that we wanted to make was the John Jones. After that, you ain't shit. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying that. That's what the UFC is saying. He was, I'm finally getting paid and respected and have a deal that's fair and equal for all parties. Wrong. It's equal for Francis. Any business guy would argue this is not equal for PFL. They're in a world of trouble. If you ever really want that John Jones fight to happen, reach out to Pete Murray, PFL. That's not happening.
Yeah, it never happens. And then Francis posted this about, well, I'll just play it for you. It's on Twitter, so it should be fine.
Man, the idea of a John Jones fight seems awfully exciting right now. And John came out, tweeted, said, show me the money. What appeals to you most? Because it seems like that would be an amazing super fight.
If I'm John Jones and I'm home watching this fight, I start moving to 85.
You think that's a fight that you'd like to put together next? I mean, I know we don't matchmake, but that sure does seem exciting.
Listen.
Wait, hold on. Pause it. What's he talking about? Francis and John?
Francis and John. So he was saying like John would not want to fight Francis because Francis would win. This is way back.
Oh, God, I was going to say Dana like super heavy.
Yeah,
too. I thought he was in shape.
Thicker. Yeah, way thicker. It was a while ago.
You look like me when I was an alcoholic. And then I tightened it up, baby.
Tightened it up.
Thanks, psoriasis.
So that's why Francis said, who's scared really? And make up your mind.
But but remember, Dana always dangles the carrot to try. Oh,
of course,
the greatest of all time, scared of Francis, and John sitting at home like this motherfucker. He's trying to get John. He's poking the bear.
Yeah. It's a promoter.
Stylistically, there couldn't be a worse matchup for Francis than John Jones. It is what it is. What Francis did to Cyril Gahn, Francis team went, holy shit. I mean, it's a good post by Francis, but if you go back to that stuff, that's a promoter being a promoter. Yeah. That's all he's doing, poking the bear. Does anybody in this room think Francis beats John Jones?
Not really.
Can you be honest?
No, I mean, obviously Francis has a shot. But
of course he has. Yeah. If he lands, he's the hardest hitter I've ever seen.
But I don't think ultimately he would win. No, I just don't.
Not a chance.